Usatine Media presents the Color Atlas and Synopsis of Sexually Transmitted Diseases. We can start to view the app at the table of contents. Here we can see an overview of sexually transmitted diseases, bacterial STDs. We can scroll and see the many common and uncommon diseases that are represented, viral sexually transmitted diseases, and then the cutaneous infestations and clinical syndromes, including things like non-gonococcal urethritis, epididymitis, and cervicitis. We can now open a chapter to look and see what is available. We might look at mucopurulent cervicitis, for example, and here we can see the photographs and images right at the start. We can actually scroll through those images. We see the legends along with them, and at any point we can decide that we want to go see the text for the topic and go back to see the text itself. We can scroll through the text, or we could jump within the text to look at various sections, like how is age involved, what are other risk factors, and so we can do this. We can actually bookmark the chapter so that we can go back to that in the future. If we decide we need to know what some of the abbreviations mean, we can go to our list of abbreviations anywhere within the app so that you never will be confused by what GND means or any of these other three-letter acronyms. So we can go back to our contents again, and we can take a look at another chapter. We might want to see a chapter on epididymitis, and here we see some images of epididymitis. Again, we can jump throughout the chapter quickly to look at something like sexual orientation and how this might increase the risk. So we have that way of navigating through our app, but we also can search. And you can see that recent searches have been saved. So if I decide I want to go back to see syphilis again, here we see that there were 230 text matches, most of them within the syphilis chapter, but we also can see how syphilis is mentioned within the genital herpes chapter. We can look at all of our images that relate to syphilis, and there are 29 results. So there are many different things that we can look at here. We can see chancres, we can see condyloma lata, we can see the secondary syphilis rash on both the penis and the typical rash on the palms. So there's a wealth of information here and a wealth of images to look at. Now, if we want to start a new search, we can go ahead here and we can start to type in a new search. Let's say we're interested now in urethritis, or let's say we want to know more about ureaplasma. We just by starting to type urethritis, we certainly have other words come up that might interest us. And here we're seeing urethritis with all of the various matches within the text, and then matches for the images so that we can look at these images for urethritis. Now, if we want to go back to an earlier search, here we have gonorrhea, and gonorrhea will give us both text and images, and so it's very easy to search. If we want to look at previous bookmarks, we can see that we have bookmarked these chapters, and we can look at the notes that we've created, like a note on reactive arthritis that says it was previously called Reiter syndrome because Dr. Reiter was doing human experimentation in Nazi Germany. We were getting away from using his name in describing a condition that is currently described as reactive arthritis. Now, if we want to go back into the contents and we'd like to create another bookmark, let's say we would like to look at scabies, and we're going to look at our scabies images here, and we're looking at the scabies mite with some eggs and some scibula, which would be the scabies feces, and we want to make a note here. We can make notes by going into the chapter and creating a note, and let's say we wanted to say good mite photo, and we can save that, and now we have our note saved, and again we can do bookmarks. So many different ways to look at, to mark, to search, really, and just a wealth of information on sexually transmitted diseases, including things that are not so common, like chancroid we don't see as often as we see syphilis, and we can see many photographs of the beefier ulcers that one sees with chancroid, and even the adenopathy that might be visible. So a lot to see, a lot to learn, a lot to help you practice medicine. And if you want to learn more about the book, we can go to the book upon which this is based and the app itself. We can go to About. We can go to look at information about the authors. We can read the preface if that interests us. And if we go to Develop By, you can see that this has been developed by Usatine Media. If you want to learn more about our other medical apps, you can go to usatinemedia.com. Thank you for your attention today.